In this video, we're going to use the JackBord BASIC's built-in light sensor to start measuring the ambient light level in lux. This is the 9th video in a set of 10 for people beginning their journey with the JackBord BASIC. For a full list of videos in this series, search the TMT code shown in the middle of the screen at jb.works. For this video, you're going to need the JackBord BASIC, a USB-C cable, a PC or a Chromebook, and either the Google Chrome web browser or the Microsoft Edge web browser. Before we start measuring light, it's a good idea to understand what it actually is. And a way you can do it is to imagine a world in which things can only be seen if they're wet by raindrops. But the drops are very short-lived, and as soon as the rain stops, the objects disappear again. In reality, that's basically how light works. Light is composed of what are called photons, and they're kind of like raindrops in the sense that they are discrete packets of energy. And the only way that you can see something in the real world is if it's being illuminated by photons, or if photons of light are falling on it, like rain falling on a surface. If there are no photons and therefore no light, you see pitch black, you can't see anything. So what the JackBord's light sensor does is it measures how many photons are falling on that sensor at any given time. The light sensor is mounted here on the JackBord. It's the small wee chip. And if we blow it up, you can see it a little larger here. And then finally, this is it, many times bigger than it is in reality. And this is the chip that detects light. And as you can see, it's located just to the right of port B. Well, basically the light sensor uses a special type of diode, which is shown here, that is sensitive to light. And so essentially the electronics on the chip convert the light value from the diode into a value that the JackBord BASIC can understand. So these areas here are a little computer, and it measures the reading from the diode and then turns it into numbers that the JackBord can then give to you as a light reading in lux. So it's basically the light sensor has its own wee computer inside that takes readings and then turns them into a form that the JackBord BASIC can understand. So light is measured in lux, and basically the lux tells you the amount of light falling on 1 square meter. And the JackBord BASIC measures the light levels in lux. So this table here gives you some examples of different lux levels. So basically a moonless clear night sky is pretty much 0. Full moon is only 0.1 to 0.3 of a lux. Your average home living room is anywhere between 50 and 200 lux. And a very dark overcast day is 100 lux. And then an overcast day, but not dark, is about 1,000 lux. And then finally full daylight is anywhere between 10 to 25,000 lux. And then direct sunlight is anywhere from 32,000 to 100,000 lux. So these ranges are ones that you would expect to see in real life. So now that we know something about lux and we know roughly how the sensor works, let's try and get some readings from it. So to do this, you basically go to the command line and just type GT at the command line. And you'll see the current values of all of the various ports and pins. And the one in red is the light reading. So at the time that I did this, the light level was 117 lux. Okay, I'm here on the command page. And you can see in the bottom right hand corner there, I've got the JackBord BASIC set up. So if I just go GT, which is get the readings, the current light level is 214 lux. So now I've got a light here, so if I turn the light on, and then I run the GT command again, you can see it's gone up to 219, or 297 lux rather. So with the GT command, you can get the current light level in lux from the JackBord BASIC. Another way we can get a light reading from the JackBord BASIC is to use the s_light system variable. This is a special variable which will always hold the value of light. And we don't need to worry about what variables are right now, let alone system variables, but basically if we type the command shown in the middle here at the command line and press enter, you'll get a result like the one shown on the right, where the light level was 161 lux. So I'm back here on the command line and we'll see what this command was. So basically it was JP, which is a way of printing. Let me go light level. And then we put the system variable, which is S, and the S underscore means it's a system variable, and then it's just light. And then the units, which are lux. Now if I press that, press enter, and we get the value 215. Have another look. Now if I turn on the light, and we take another reading, you can see it's gone up to 299. So this method just lets you print the lux value directly onto the command line. And finally, we can get live readings from the light sensor by clicking on the live page, which is the link shown in the screen here. And this takes you to the live page, where you can see readings in real time from the light sensor. So I'm back here on the dashboard, and this is the link here to the live page. So if I click on it, what you'll see is these values will pop up. And remember from the previous slide about the GT command, the light readings are actually on channel 34. So if I just put my hand over the sensor, you can see them changing. Now if I click on this row, you can also see a graph of the readings as they change. And these are updated in real time on the live page. To summarize, light is made up of photons, and the JackBord BASIC's light sensor measures light in lux. So what could you do with this ability to measure light? Well, for example, you could check to see if your pop light has enough light. You could measure how long your room lights are on during the week or a month. And you could measure the amount of cloud in the sky by how light or dark the sky is. In the next video, we're going to explore the JackBord BASIC's built-in light sensor that lets you measure the ambient light level in lux. To get straight to that video, visit jb.works and search the TMT code shown on the screen. For more information, visit jb.works.